Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am your Suresh. You are watching Yarola Suresh YouTube channel. Friends, in this video, let's talk about human digestive system. It is very important topic, not only for 10th class students, but also for competitive examinations. So watch this video completely without skipping. If you like this video, please share it to your friends also. Before that, if you are visiting my channel for the first time, please subscribe to my channel and press on bell icon. Then you will get all the notifications when I upload a video. Okay, let's have a look at the topic. Human digestive system. Digestive system is the system meant for the process of digestion. Generally in organisms, for every metabolism, there will be a system. For every function, there is a system. In our body also, we have different systems. For example, to carry out the process of respiration, we have a respiratory system. And for excretion, we have excretory system. And for control and coordination, we have nervous system. And for movements, we have muscular system. Like that, for different purposes, we have different systems. In the same manner, for the process of digestion, we have digestive system. So digestive system is the largest system in our body. The function of digestive system is digestion of food material. What is mean by digestion? Digestion means conversion of complex food molecules into simple molecules with the help of enzymes. Here, digestion means conversion of complex molecules into simple molecules with the help of enzymes. This is what digestion. Okay, what is the need of digestion? If digestion not takes place, what would happen? If there is no digestion, there is no energy released. So to release energy, digestion is an essential task. Why the digestion is required? The reason is the food material whatever we take that contains complex molecules. Food material contains food components or nutrients. What are the nutrients? Here, carbohydrates, proteins, fats and vitamins and minerals. All these are the nutrients. In all these nutrients, some of the nutrients are complex molecules. They are complex in nature. When the complex molecules are taken into the body, they don't release energy until they get converted into simple molecules. Here we should understand one thing. Immediately after taking food material, energy not released. Energy is not at all released as soon as we take the food material. What should be done? Digestion should be done. What digestion? Digestion of complex molecules. Here, the nutrients or the food components in food, example like carbohydrates and proteins and fats, these three are complex food molecules. These complex food molecules, they don't release energy unless they are modified into simple molecules. First of all, let's try to understand how they are complex molecules. Carbohydrates are complex molecules. They are made of so many simple molecules like glucose molecules. So, all the glucose molecules, a group of glucose molecules, they form a carbohydrate. So, carbohydrates are made of glucose molecules. Here, group of glucose molecules form carbohydrate. So, carbohydrates are complex molecules. Where carbohydrates are made into smaller pieces, what are the smaller pieces of these carbohydrates? Glucose molecules. So, glucose molecules are simple molecules. Then we can understand that carbohydrates are digested. When we can say that carbohydrates are digested? When glucose molecules are formed from carbohydrates, then carbohydrate digestion will be completed. In the same manner, proteins. Proteins also complex molecules. How are they made of? They are made of amino acids. If proteins are digested, amino acids are formed, then we can understand that yes, protein digestion completed. And fats also complex molecules. How are they made of? They are made of fatty acids and glycerols. If fatty acids and glycerols are formed from these fats, then we can understand yes, fat digestion completed. So finally what I want to say here is carbohydrates are made of glucose molecules, proteins are made of amino acids, fats are made of fatty acids and glycerol. Here we are not taking glucose, amino acids and fatty acids, we are taking carbohydrates, proteins and fats in complex mode. And these complex food molecules are converted into simple molecules with the help of enzymes as they move through the parts of digestive system. That is what going on in the process of digestion. So digestive system is the place in which digestion takes place. When the food material passes through all the parts, all these complex molecules are converted into simple molecules. Okay, what are the parts are present in digestive system? The parts are like this. First of all, let's have a look at the diagram. This is the diagram of digestive system, and the parts are mouth and oral cavity. Here oral cavity, and here pharynx, here esophagus and stomach, and small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus. These are the parts of digestive system. Here we can see the parts: mouth, oral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. Let's talk about the parts in detail. First one, mouth. Here it is mouth. Mouth is an entrance of digestive system. The food is taken through mouth. So taking food through the mouth is called ingestion. Ingestion of food takes place through mouth. Okay. Second part, oral cavity. What is oral cavity? A space present inside the mouth is called oral cavity. This is what the space present in mouth. The space or an empty place present in mouth is called oral cavity. And what are the parts present in oral cavity? In oral cavity again, three kinds of parts are present. Teeth, salivary glands and tongue are the parts present in oral cavity. What happens in oral cavity, and what is the role of teeth, and what is the role of salivary glands, what is the role of tongue in the process of digestion? Let's talk about all these things clearly now. First, teeth. Teeth are located on both upper and lower jaws, and the teeth are made of a substance, dentin. Dentin is the very strongest substance in our body, and teeth are covered by a layer called enamel, and the number of teeth in children is 20, so that they are called milk teeth. When the children gets the age 8 and 9 years, simply these milk teeth are detached from oral cavity, and instead of them new teeth are developed. And the number of teeth in adults is 32. These are called as permanent teeth. And teeth are divided into four kinds based on their structure and their function. The teeth are incisors, canines, premolars and molars. Already regarding the teeth I have done a special video. Okay, first one, incisors. Incisors help in cutting the food material, and the number of incisors is 8. Next, canines. Canines simply participate in tearing the food material, especially these are present in carnivorous organisms or the organisms which eat meat. And canine are absent in herbivorous organisms. So the place where canines are absent, that place in herbivorous organisms is known as diastema. And the number of canines in human beings are 4. And premolars help in chewing the food material, and the number of premolars is 8. And next, molars also help in chewing the food material and also swallowing the food material, and the number of molars is 12. So total number of teeth in human beings in adults is 32. These are also called as permanent teeth. Okay, these teeth are represented by a formula that is known as dental formula. The dental formula in children is like this: 2 by 2, 1 by 1, and 0 by 0 and 2 by 2. Here first 2 by 2 indicates the number of incisors, and second one indicates canines, and here third one premolars, and fourth one molars. By this we can understand that premolars are completely absent in children. Okay, here 2 by 2 means the number of teeth on half portion of upper jaw and number of teeth on half portion on lower jaw. Here also number of teeth on half portion of upper jaw and number of teeth on half portion of lower jaw. Like this we can understand. And here the dental formula in adults is 2 by 2, 1 by 1, 2 by 2 and 3 by 3. So here 4, 6, 10 and 16. That means 16 are the number of teeth only on half portions of upper jaw and lower jaw. And remaining half portions it becomes 32. So this is dental formula. By this we can understand the arrangement and the different kinds of teeth. Okay, what is the function of teeth? Teeth helps in cutting and chewing and swallowing the food material. Here in the process of digestion, teeth are making the food material into smaller particles, but no digestion takes place with the help of teeth. Okay, this is the role of teeth. And next one, salivary glands. Salivary glands are of 3 pairs in human body. In other mammals, the number of salivary glands is 4 pairs, and in human beings, parotid glands and submaxillary glands and sublingual glands are the salivary glands. Here parotid glands are located near our ears, and submaxillary glands are located at the junction of 2 jaws, and sublingual glands are located under the tongue. And the function of salivary glands is secretion of saliva. And saliva is a liquid secreted by salivary glands which is sticky in nature. Saliva is sticky in nature because of the presence of mucus, and saliva contains an enzyme ptyalin. This ptyalin is also called as salivary amylase. Okay. And what is the role of saliva? At the time of chewing the food material with the help of teeth, saliva makes the food material sticky and it makes the food material to skid on easily. So, at the time of chewing, food material is mixed up with saliva and that made into smaller pieces so that a sticky substance is formed. That sticky food material is also called as bolus. And saliva also contains an enzyme that is ptyalin. Ptyalin is also called as salivary amylase. Here is an enzyme. It acts on carbohydrates. So the role of salivary amylase or ptyalin is digestion of carbohydrates. It acts on carbohydrates. It converts carbohydrates into maltose and dextrin. So carbohydrate digestion is started in oral cavity by an enzyme salivary amylase. Okay, this is the role of salivary glands and saliva. Okay, now we have understood the role of teeth and the role of salivary glands. Next, what is the role of tongue? Tongue simply involves in tasting the food material because of the presence of taste buds and also helps in swallowing the food material. So, with the help of teeth and salivary glands and tongue, some changes takes place in oral cavity in food material, and here carbohydrate digestion is started. So, what happens in oral cavity? Simply food material is made into smaller pieces and becomes sticky in nature by saliva. This process is called mastication, and masticated food material in oral cavity is called as bolus. Now bolus is formed in oral cavity. Okay, and after that the food material moves into next part, pharynx. What is pharynx? Pharynx is a junction of food pipe and windpipe. It is a common passage of food and air. Okay, let's look at this. Here this is oral cavity and this is nasal cavity. Both these cavities are separated by a divider that is called as palate. Palate is a divider between oral cavity and nasal cavity. Here from this oral cavity, food material moves into esophagus, and from this nasal cavity, air moves into windpipe. But here is a problem. As it is a common junction, the food material may enter into windpipe also. So to prevent that problem, on windpipe there is a lid-like structure located. That lid-like structure is called as epiglottis. Epiglottis is a lid-like structure made of cartilage which prevents the entry of food into windpipe or into trachea. So trachea is protected, lungs are protected from the entry of food material. So it directs the movement of food material into esophagus. So with the help of epiglottis, food material is prevented to enter the trachea and food material is directed into esophagus. This common junction of windpipe and food pipe is called as pharynx. So no changes in food material occur in pharynx. Next, food material directly moves into esophagus. Esophagus is a long tube-like structure that is located between pharynx and stomach. And what happens in esophagus? No digestion takes place even in esophagus also. Esophagus simply helps in transportation of food material from pharynx to stomach. Why like that? Let's look at the structure of esophagus. Esophagus, the inner walls of esophagus are covered by mucous membrane. It always secretes a sticky substance, mucus. So by this mucus, the food material skids on easily, so it can move down easily. And the walls of esophagus are made of two kinds of muscles. They are circular muscles and longitudinal muscles. So the contractions and relaxations of the muscles present in the walls of esophagus make the food material to come down. So the movements created by the muscles of esophagus are peristalsis or peristaltic movements. Due to peristaltic movements, the food material comes down, and also other factor, mucus, makes the food material to skid on easily down. So by these two factors, food material simply comes down into stomach through this esophagus. So in esophagus also no digestion takes place. So these are the changes takes place in the different parts of digestive system up to esophagus. Now what we have understood, what happens in mouth and what happens in oral cavity, and what is pharynx and what happens there, and what is esophagus and what happens there. Now we have understood the food material entered stomach. Okay, up to here we understood the role of the parts of digestive system and the digestion of food material. The passage of food material through the parts of digestive system from mouth to esophagus we understood now, and remaining topic we will discuss in next video. Because as it is very lengthy topic, I am providing remaining information in next video. So I am providing the link of second video in the description of this video. So watch that video to understand this concept completely. Okay, thank you for watching this.